everyone. Welcome in to Rocks on the Pond. Today is Tuesday, October 21st, 2025. I am Matt Sapikoff, and this is the impeccable Isaac Mana. Isaac, how's it going?
Doing good. I like that word today.
Yeah?
I like that one for today.
I'm going to try and keep it new every time. Well, for the first time in 32 years, the Toronto Blue Jays will be representing the American League facing the juggernaut Los Angeles Dodgers out of the National League. We're going to get you guys caught up on how we got here and give our previews and predictions for the 2025 World Series.
Oh, boy.
You excited?
No, the Dodgers are in it.
Yeah, I know. This is audio only, but I did wear a Toronto Blue Jays hat into the studio today.
Yeah, you're all dolled up in blue.
I am hating. That's what I'm doing.
As you should.
I guess we're going to start off with the National League today because there's a lot less to digest there.
Yeah, there's not much to really talk about that happened after our last podcast that we did.
No. Well, in the National League, the Dodgers, in truly dominant fashion, dispatched the ragtag dirtbags from Milwaukee. Last time we were here, the Dodgers were up 2-0 heading into Game 3 with all the momentum in the world. In Game 3, there was no emergency, but the Dodgers would break glass now as Tyler took the bump against the go-to Brew Crew opener, Aaron Ashby. Shohei kicked off the game in the bottom of the first with a triple on an emergency hack, but when you're the best player in the world, those turn into triples.
Oh, yeah. Easily.
And Mookie Betts followed that up with a line drive into the opposite field to give the Showtime Dodgers a 1-0 lead. Jacob Mizorowski had to come in to finish the inning, but the Brewers would do the same in the next inning in the top of the second when Caleb Durbin tripled and Bowers knocked a ball up the middle to even the score at 1-1. That would be it for the Brewers, however, as Glasnow cruised through 5.2 innings with 8 Ks and 3 hits. In the sixth, the Dodgers would take a 3-1 lead after Will Smith said, "Keep my bat's name out your mouth," and slapped a single off the Miz. Freddie Freeman then drew a walk for Tommy Edman to hit a single and drive in Will Smith, moving Freddie Freeman to third. We got 2-1. Abner Uribe then enters the game for the Miz and attempts a pickoff at first of Tommy Edman, only to throw it away and allow Freddie Freeman to score. And that would do it for the Brewers in Game 3, as Vesia, Trinan, Banda, and Sasaki held it down to take a 3-0 series lead. My notes for this game: I thought the Miz got left in a little too long by Pat Murphy. He gave up a few knocks in that sixth, and it came back to bite him. And I don't know why Abner Uribe attempted to pick off Tommy Edman at second. There were 2 outs in the inning. Just go after the batter.
No, why not? No, they don't want to do that.
They had to go after the batter
baseball.
there.
No, they did not want to play baseball, apparently.
Well, none of that mattered anyway because the Brewers couldn't string any offense together, so all of that doesn't matter. On to Game 4, where we witnessed probably the single greatest performance in playoff history, perhaps. I mean, some of the performances that come to mind for me, off the top of my head, World Series, perfect game from Don Larson. Mr. October, Reggie Jackson, 3 homers in a game. And one that I remember more recently is Madison Bumgarner's amazing postseason when he was coming in to close out the World Series. But none of them came close to what Shohei Ohtani did this game. I really might not talk about much for this other game because he was the game.
Yeah.
He had a 3-home-run game in which one of those home runs went out of Dodger Stadium. There have only been, just for reference, 13 3-home-run games in postseason history. Not only did he do that, but he started the game and struck out 10 batters, allowing 2 hits and no runs. Isaac,
wow.
He hit more home runs than he allowed hits.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Holy cow. And one of them was it was that 462 foot.
70 something.
Just absolute new.
Out of Dodger Stadium.
I mean, it was,
I think
gosh.
There's 2 players that have. How could you turn that off? It was angering, but it's the greatest performance of all time.
I saw it left. I gave up. I knew they won. I'll look at the highlights later.
But I think there's only a handful of guys that have ever hit one out of the pavilion there, and I think the last one to do it was Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah, and I know they put a plaque up real quick where that ball hit.
Yeah.
So we already know that plaque probably got put up that night.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to see it, right, because it's on top of the roof, but That ball was absolutely torched. And my
Yeah.
gosh, his bat flip.
I just this is video game thing. I'm pretty sure I've done this in MLB The Show before.
Yeah, easily. Yeah, I did
Maybe.
it. I did it earlier this year, and that would be the show.
And
Yeah,
this is a real person doing this.
Yeah, but he's doing this, like it's nothing. I mean, he's playing the game like as if he's playing, a legit video game on like easy mode.
Yeah, and I mean, I wish there was more to talk about in this game, but it was the Shohei Ohtani game, and I think it's going to go down in history as the Shohei Ohtani game. And I mean, the Brewers were able to avoid the shutout with a run in the 8th, but the Dodgers just held them down and for 4 games and never let the Brewers breathe.
Yeah, and like we've talked about earlier, the Dodgers are playing when it matters. The Brewers didn't.
Yeah, and I think that'll be a talking point for myself going on to looking at this World Series matchup. But the Dodgers march on to the World Series for the 5th time in 10 years and look to become the first team since the Yankees from 1998 to 2000 to win consecutive World Series. Basically, my recap for this game is Shohei Ohtani had other Hall of Famers, jaws on the floor. If you were watching the game, Freddie Freeman had his hands on his head. And he's just so ridiculously good at this sport that I don't know if we'll see anyone else be able to do this. There's the argument that he is inspiring future generations to two-way and all this, but, I mean,
I don't know.
There's no words to describe what he's doing. And I think, unfortunately, the LA Dodgers look like a buzzsaw right now. Everything is clicking, and it's just, I thought this series was an example of what a team can do that spends when they go up against a team that doesn't spend, even though both teams are very well run.
Right.
I mean, the Brewers, we're kind of putting them to bed here, but they had a hell of a year. They had the best record in the league, and I think they were probably penciled in at around 82 to 84 wins at the over-under at the beginning of the season. Terrific season, and it's just that's the difference between teams that do and do not spend money.
Yeah, and it showed. And it showed a lot. I mean, a lot of their top players, too, for the Dodgers is a lot of money spent.
Yeah,
so.
that's when you pay these pitchers and you pay these hitters, they show you why they're paid that much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I mean, to go into the Blue Jays and Mariners game, or series in general, we talked about this, too. Game 7 was the idea, right?
Yep, both of us just wanted
the Game 7. Right, and that, we'll get to that point. But yeah, Game 4, you had a great prediction. You wanted Mad Max on the mound.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who was on the mound? Mr. Scherzer himself. That's also his 500 career start for regular and postseason combined.
Wow.
So, I think he was picking and choosing which game he wanted to go into for his 500. But, he went in there and he delivered. He did 5 2/3, 3 hits, 4 walks, struck out 5. Wild stat from that. Notably, he reached 96.5 mile an hour on his first inning pitch to Cal, his fastest of the season.
Yeah. I think for young guys, when you don't pitch for a month,
yes,
you might be wild and you might not, feel
right.
dialed in. But when you're 41 years old and you've thrown that many baseballs, I think a month off is a good reset going into a game like this.
And it showed. He did a great performance from him. He went out there, he threw the ball well, and he kept himself in. We saw the manager go out, and he gets his name for a reasoning, right? He gets his name for a reasoning because my guy straight up looked him dead in the eyes and was like, "I'm not coming out of this game."
With those eyes and that face, if Max Scherzer was screaming at me, I think I'm letting him stay too. I don't think
100%. Yeah, he can go ahead and pull himself from the game. Even when they do interviews with this guy, and he's just looking into the camera, the guy doesn't move his eyes anywhere, and you're like, you can look away, man. And it went pretty well for the Blue Jays. They finally were hitting the ball. The score was 8-2. There wasn't really much the Mariners were going to be able to do throughout the game. They had Luis Castillo throw. He only went 2 1/3. He gave up a really bad third inning, and that's kind of what the downfall of the game was. But yeah, other than that, there's it's just Blue Jays hitting that we've seen. Right, they're smacking the ball. And Vlad, he had another home run. Right, that was his 5th postseason home run this year. 5 postseason home runs?
He's putting himself in elite company with some other guys that I think I have a talking point on this later about just how good his postseason is right now.
Yeah, and I mean, really, when you look at it, right, he's breaking the Blue Jays franchise single postseason record, which was set by Jose Bautista in 2015.
Yeah, sure.
And, you know, I mean, he's already breaking records. He's a young guy, and, I mean,
he'll be 27 next year.
It might be nice.
He's only 26 right now.
Yeah.
Like
and you look at some of these other guys, too. Like, they got young guys like Osman.
God, I don't think Osman's
that young. He's young. Is he?
I think he's in his 30s.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's still young. Scherzer's 41 throwing the ball. Hey, this ain't football, man.
I guess it's all about perspective.
This ain't football. Right? Then you go to Game 5. And this kind of, you know, this was a type of game, right? It was 2-1. Game 5 went 6-2 to the Mariners. I was really hoping the Blue Jays were going to pull this one off. You know.
Well, Eugenio Suarez, if I'm not mistaken, had his playoff moment with a late grand slam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did. Hey, as we were talking about video games, he's got a great swing in MLB The Show. Just got to put that out there. I mean, the guy can smack the ball.
Well, he can. I mean, sneaky Hall of Fame resume if he keeps. I mean, he has 300 home runs. If he plays in another 3 years of what he's doing right now, we're gonna be like, wait.
Yeah, wait a minute.
We might have to put him in the Hall of Fame because he's approaching 500 home runs.
Right, and you're like, I guess we can throw him in there.
About that.
But that was his second home run of the night, giving them the lead. And, you know, after that, it's like these later games that we'll get into. One swing of the bat changes the game, right? And that right there was, I mean, it changed the whole entire game. And, I mean, there's, you know, you just can't give up the home runs, you know, as you're eating the mic over here.
What are you talking about?
You just can't give up the long ball. But that was the good thing, though, that came with it, right, was the Mariners got the home field advantage, right?
Yep.
They were able to win at home, which is crucial, right? Game 6. I mean, you know, this is must win, right? We have to win this. And, I mean, the Blue Jays came out and won, right? They turned to rookie Trey Savage. Right, you like that guy.
Love his name.
Right?
Love his name. Love his brand of ball. I remember watching him at ECU.
You just love that guy's last name, right?
Yeah.
You just love him in general.
Yeah, when you look at him compared to us at 22 years old.
Hey, we're doing the podcast right now. Okay, we'll talk about him. Okay, he can throw the
genetics.
Ball. Well, yeah. I mean, just like Paul Skeen's genetics, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
anyway.
Some of these guys are kind of making me really wish I still played baseball. And maybe they were my coach when
well, speak for yourself. My arm is always killing me.
It's my back now. it's my back. But you know,
just letting you guys know about our ailments from not the career that these guys.
Yeah, definitely nowhere near close to what these guys' careers had. Because at the age of 20, I was still junior.
Yeah, imagine being Max Scherzer's elbow.
Yeah. Oh, good night. Or any part of his body.
Yeah.
But in the Game 6 of it, there was a 6-2 win by the Blue Jays. Savage went and he threw 5 2/3 strong innings. He had 3 consecutive double plays in big spots. I mean, what more can you ask from a guy when you get runners on, right? Is to be able to get that double play, ground ball.
Ton of double plays in this series.
And it's big. And, I mean, for Seattle, they had Logan Gilbert, right? He went, but he struggled. He really struggled. He allowed multiple runs, including a 2-run home run by Addison Barger. Barger. Same thing.
Barger. I hardly know her.
Oh, gosh. Right, and you had Vladdy, right, who hit his 6th postseason home run. I mean, he's on a tear right now.
He is.
My gosh. And there's, you know, Jeff Hoffman.
Former Rocky, Jeff Hoffman.
It's just like, you know, every other Rocky that decides they want to leave makes the postseason.
I mean, I didn't realize he was a Rocky, but my brother was like, wait, is that the same one that was with us? And it started to kind of like click. I think he used to wear glasses with us, and he wasn't good with us, so I'm not too upset.
Well, no one's really good with the Rockies.
Yeah.
You know,
but
come on. Everyone's good when they leave, right?
That's true.
Yeah, everyone's good when they leave. But he came in and he tallied the final 6 outs, striking out 4 of them, and he came in, shut the door. And that brings us to Game 7.
The best words in baseball.
Love
sports.
it. Love it. I mean, I love a Game 7, and we'll get into that later for the World Series. But this game was a good game. You know, Not necessarily really a back and forth game. The Mariners kind of held the lead for a while. They held that 3-1 lead, and I was thinking, man, this ain't the Blue Jays game.
Yeah, it was looking like it.
And they had home. I believe they were home, correct, for Game 7.
Blue Jays.
Yeah, they had the home field advantage, and I was like, man, you're gonna go home to Toronto and you're gonna lose in front of your home crowd in a Game 7. No, that we'll get into that, but. Yeah, I mean, it was the Blue Jays' first Game 7 appearance since 1985's ALCS game.
Wow, long time.
Yeah, I mean, a long time. And just in general, like you said earlier, is 32 years that they.
Yep, 32 years since they went to the World Series and won it. Yep.
So they're breaking records right now. You have Vladdy's record breaking, the team in general getting into the World Series and winning the pennant. I mean,
and talk about the man of the hour in this game, who's also a consummate playoff performer, George Springer.
Yeah, George Springer came in clutch. Bottom of the 7th, if I am correct.
Yes, sir.
Just smoked the ball, right? Off the bat, you see him, his little trot down there. And, sometimes you're thinking, hey, man, if you're not, if this is not a no-doubter, my guy, you please start running down it. No, George Springer had other thoughts. And off the bat, I mean, just from the sound of it, you're probably like, yeah, that ball's going to go. And it didn't even sneak over. I mean, it was, like 2 or 3 rows up?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was the pivotal game. I mean, it was honestly.
When he just started going berserk after that, it brought me back to that 2017 Astros team, which I thought was sick until they cheated.
Right.
But, like, him, I vividly remember hitting a clutch homer in that series and just going crazy around the bases. And I was like, man, George Springer is a bad man in the playoffs.
Yes, he is a playoff beast, and he showed it, and he's been showing it. And, oh, my. I mean, I think he was a little mad, too. I don't know if this was that bat, but he took a nice little 99-mile-an-hour sinker up high on him. It is either that at bat or a previous one, and I think he was a little mad.
Oh, yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Taking a 100-mile-an-hour sinker up and in to the jaw, almost. I mean, the crowd didn't like it, and I'm pretty sure he didn't like it. But I think that pissed him off just a little bit. And it showed. I mean, he came in and just smacked the ball, and that was the pivotal point of Game 7. There's, you had your solo home runs and everything by the Mariners, but, it only matters if you win.
Well, I want to take a dive into that 7th inning with you. I think that was undoubtedly the most pressure-filled situation in the game if you're the Mariners.
Oh, yeah.
I guess my question is, or my thought is, why was Andres Munoz not went to in the 7th if that's the most crucial situation? I know it's not the 9th inning and he's your closer, but I think you're going to rely on him for 2 innings like they did. You're going to go – you had to go to him. You want to go to him with the lead, but you couldn't because you lost the lead because you went to Bizardo, who had thrown 2 innings the game before and has just been overused recently. He's pitched in most of their games, and Senor Smoke was good to go. They ended up going to him anyway. I don't think that was the right pitching lane, and I think that if you want to put your best arms in the most impactful spots in the game, that was it.
Right. And, I think the thought process maybe was hopefully he'll get us out of the 7th, and then in the 8th we'll probably go to Munoz. Maybe that was the thought process. But into your regard, I mean, you have 2 runners on, no outs, right? And then you bunt the runners over. Now you have runners on second and third, 1 out. You're probably thinking, I mean, we can afford one of these runs, but we don't want 2 because then that gives us the tie. That gives them the tie, and they have they technically have the advantage being the home team having the bottom of the 9th.
And Isaac, we do have the benefit of hindsight,
right?
But in the 7th inning, you have the top of the order coming up. I don't see why you don't go to your high leverage arm in the high leverage moment, and then if you're really uncomfortable with him going later than 1 or 2, go to Bizardo to face the bottom of the order.
Right. Yeah, and I do believe they should have probably pulled him when the top of the lineup got up. Yeah, you don't want a guy that is coming off of minimal rest to go up against the team that is hot, especially their top of their order. When they're hot, you want to go to your ace in the bullpen that's going to shut him down. Even if you lose him, and maybe the idea too was, hey, we can't afford Munoz right now. We won't get him in the ninth, but
you need the lead in the ninth.
You need the lead at some point in the game. And in the ninth, it's important.
I think it's you want to get through the high leverage innings when you have runners on second and third. You want to get out of that and just figure out the last 3 outs.
Right.
Figure out the last arm. If a starter has to come in for an inning or someone else, I just think that was a better option. Another talking point I have for this, I guess, series, George Springer. I think a lot of us remember him. Obviously, I was just talking about as a Houston Astro, but he was kind of one of the guys to, first guys off the boat from that 2017 cheating scandal team. He left that team earlier than some of their other stars, and my question is to you with this performance in this postseason and the season he's put together as a whole, do you think that makes him look different, like long term, how he's looked at as a player compared to what his image was with the Astros?
Yeah, and I think I think his image changes, right? As a team, we're not going to like, that World Series that they won, right? We'll put that asterisk next to it, as we do with some of the Dodgers ones. I believe their COVID one, right? The half season, right? A little shade at them because they're in the World Series. But I think for him doing what he's able to do, right, outside of the Astros, right, and, everyone's going to take a deep look into the Blue Jays. Are they really, But, for him getting caught cheating, yes, it's a bad thing, right? That team in general, they got caught cheating. But he's able to perform and prove, I think is the big one. He's proving to everyone that yes, that happened. Mistakes were made. But
that's not that kind of ball player.
Yeah, he's like, this is actually who I am as a player. And he's showing it. And he's showing his postseason mentality, right, that he is a good player. He's showing throughout the season.
Doesn't need a trash can to go yard.
No, he doesn't. You don't need to bang on a trash can for this guy to go and have a clutch 3-run home run.
No,
in a game.
I agree. I think he's taken on a leadership role here. He was a young guy on that Astros team. He was far from the person who implemented all of this, whatever that may look like. I think that he's had enough time away from that organization, and it's been long enough since that World Series, and with this performance in this postseason, I think he's righting the ship of the story we tell about him.
Right. And, you can have a bad look on him in a sense of what he did in Houston, but you can't have a bad look at what he's been doing, after Houston.
Yep. Toronto, I think, has been great for his career.
And I think, honestly, it saved his career because a lot of people were hating on every single player on that team.
Yeah.
And the aspect, you blatantly cheated, let's be honest here.
Yeah.
Astro fans are going to say no, but we all heard the banging. But, for him to be able to get out of there, in the heat of the moment, maybe they're thinking, oh, he just wants to leave to get out, he doesn't like, people bashing him and all this. Now I think he's proven to everyone.
He's put up a 959 OPS season. Like, he'll get MVP votes.
Yeah, he's a good ball player outside of, early mistakes.
Sure. I think my next talking point here is going to be Vladimir Guerrero Jr. His postseason numbers, I guess there's no real question here, but his postseason numbers are just on par with probably the best postseason run of all time, which is Carlos Beltran's rookie season, the 2004 run he went on with the Astros. In that postseason, Carlos Beltran hit .435 with a 1.557 OPS and 8 home runs.
8?
8.
I knew he was good, but man, I didn't know he did that good. I was 1 year old, so we were one when that series happened. But.
Yeah, but Vladdy's numbers are very, very close to that. And in another series, he could hit 2 more home runs. But as it sits after Game 7, Vladdy's hitting .422. His OPS is 1.440. He has 6 home runs and 12 RBIs in just 11 games.
Wow. So he's almost, I mean, this guy's he's averaging an RBI a game.
Yeah, he's giving you a run a game. He's hitting home runs, extra base hits.
Yeah, you can expect almost a home run out of him, it seems like, in a game.
I mean, this postseason is out of this world. It is up there with Barry Bonds and, like I said, Carlos Beltran, who are just like these don't come around very often.
No, it's you have both sides now. I mean, you have Vlad doing stuff, and you got Shohei doing things. It's gonna be a good World Series, isn't it?
Yeah. I think if the Jays can keep hitting like they have, it's gonna be a good series. Moving on to my, I guess, talking points for the Mariners, putting them to bed. My post-mortem notes.
Look at you using a big word.
I think this series could have gone differently. It was so close, of course, and you can point at so many things, but in recent baseball history, Randy Arozarena has been one of the, if not like the best playoff performer we've seen in a long time. Like that run with the Rays, he's had a few other good ones, or like at least one other good one. But this one, he really disappeared. He was leading off and eventually got moved down in the order. He hit 188 with a .574 OPS and just 1 home run. And I mean, do you think the series would have looked different if he just did a little bit more? If he could have had another home run or two, or was just not hitting 188?
Oh, 100%. I mean, he was a bat they relied on too as well.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're batting, what was that, a 1-something? I mean, just in general, it doesn't matter if it's a 199, I believe. If you're batting anything under a 2, you're not performing. And 1 home run, I mean, the guy's known for the long ball, right? He has power. He's a power hitter. But, I mean, if you're going to be a power hitter, at least put up a little bit more for the home runs aspect, right? Like Cal is a great example of that. He didn't really necessarily have the highest of a batting average, right? But was able to hit the long ball in need be, So it kind of, I guess in this day and age, you can have the long ball power hitter, right? As long as he's actually performing, with the power. The average can stay a little low, but right, you start looking at the aspect of he'll bring in RBIs, he'll bring in runs, right? But with Randy not doing what he did, you kind of lose that bat.
Yeah, when you're missing that from the top of your order and you have the Blue Jays who's 6, 7, 8, 9, depending on the game. Okay. Ernie Clement in the postseason is hitting .429. Andres Gimenez, 263 with 2 homers, 8 RBIs, and about 1 million sack bunts. And Addison Barger with a .286 average and 2 home runs. Like, the bottom half of the Blue Jays lineup was doing better than people threw out.
And
the Mariners.
The Blue Jays lineup looks good too, in a sense, when you look at the aspect of, right, cut the lineup in half, right? You kind of want 1 through 5, we'll say, right, to essentially be a certain way, and then you want your 6 through 9 to then like flip the lineup in a sense and
grind out at bats.
Your 6, you want to act as if like maybe he's like a 1-hole hitter, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you want him to get on. You don't really. And then like your 9-hole hitter. I mean, you're in the postseason. We have a DH, right? You don't have the pitcher spot. Maybe your 9-hole hitter could be a sleeper guy on the bench that can bang the ball around like a 3-hole, 4-hole hitter, right?
That's what we saw from the Jays. I mean, kind of all year. That's why they've been so good. Ernie Clement, great year. All these guys. I think my last note from the Mariners. I don't know. Did you watch the post game?
I did not. No.
Later on in the post game, there's an interview. Brian Wu is getting interviewed in the Mariners locker room. And he's asked a question about a reporter mentions this is the closest the Mariners have ever been to the World Series, and in the background you hear what's revealed to be Julio Rodriguez let out a agonizing scream, like a painful, like, I'm not going to recreate it here, I'm not going to do that to you guys, but it was like you could hear the pain. I think that if the Mariners can take anything away from this series, it's the fact that I think they can be back next year. I looked at it. They have all their pitchers back.
Okay.
Cal Rowley's inked for a while. and Julio's inked for a while, and the pain in Julio's voice in that scream after hearing that stat yet again, I think it's going to drive him to be an absolute monster next season.
Yeah.
Every year with Julio, he could be, up there with Bobby Witt Jr. That was the discussion because they came up in the same year. Like, who's going to be the face going forward? Julio always starts off terribly and then plays like the best version of himself in the second half of the year. I think Julio just went through the pressure that makes diamonds. He went through the pain that makes monsters.
Right.
And I think next year, I think he might be moving different. I'm not going to go anywhere and be like, Julio MVP or Mariners 1 seed, but I think he's young enough to where he hasn't felt that yet. And I think that might change something in him.
Yeah, and I mean, really, too, I believe the Mariners, right, they have never made a World Series. Correct?
Yeah, they are the only team that has not made a World Series.
I mean, I think Julio is speaking for all of the Mariner fans as well.
Of Seattle.
I mean, every Mariners fan from whenever the franchise started to now, he's speaking for them all. And I think, it shows to the fans that he wants to win as much as they want to win. I mean, I think it goes for all sports fans. We put ourselves as if we're part of the team too.
Yep.
We always look at the screen and go, why are we doing that? But to have Julio do that, I mean, and it shows in a sense that they want to win, and you got to keep him, or you're gonna keep these young guys, and I mean, hopefully the Mariners get back. I think they'll have the same season as they had this year, right? Maybe a couple, give or take a couple more losses, right? But
well, they'll have to see what happens with Suarez and Naylor, but as their team started last year, as their team started this year, it should look a lot similar next year, especially with the big pitching names and your two best bats.
Yeah, and then maybe, and they got to get past the dreaded trade line, right? Things happen on that is unexpected.
Yep, and they had a good trade line. They made the moves that fans want to see, that shows, ownership believes they can win now. And I mean, I still think the Mariners could have an open window for a while.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Looking forward, the Dodgers and the Jays have never met in the postseason and have only played each other 30 times, period. All time, the Dodgers have the lead in this series 19-11, and this year they've just played one 3-game set in which the Dodgers took a 2-1 win in that series, outscoring the Blue Jays 18-7 in those games. Isaac, what are you looking forward to seeing in these series?
A competitive battle really between the two. I mean, they both got pitching. They both got really good pitching, but I'd like to see the Blue Jays put up a better fight than the Brewers.
That's exactly how I feel, and I think that was my next note of what I was looking. One of the things I was looking forward to was the fact that Milwaukee and Toronto play a very similar brand of baseball, and we just saw the Dodgers, hold them down, not let them breathe. But the bottom of the Jays lineup, like I said, Clement 429, these other guys hitting home runs and putting down good bunts, setting the table for Springer and Vlad. If those guys continue to rake and the bottom of the lineup does what it's doing, that's the difference between them and the Brewers. The Brewers didn't have a Vlad or a Springer that will go hit the home runs, and the bottom half of their lineup didn't produce anything like this. So I think that's what I'm looking forward to, is seeing if that Jays offense can get through the ridiculously strong armor that is the Dodgers pitching staff. Yeah,
and I hope. Being a Rockies fan, I don't want to see the Dodgers win the World Series, again. But if the Blue Jays can perform, with the top arms of the Dodgers, Game 1 will be a good testament, right? I don't know who's starting Game 1 for the Dodgers, but it's
probably Snell or Yamamoto.
I would assume one of those two. And that Snell's a good arm. We saw his last outing.
No bad options for the Dodgers.
He's good. So if, we can get to that point where, if they do good in Game 1, I think will be a good true testament to see how these guys will actually stack up against these powerful arms. And I mean, hopefully, you just hope that the Blue Jays arms can stick through it for a couple more games.
That, I think, is the biggest difference in this series. No knock against the Mariners because I do think they had a spectacular lineup. But I do question what a 22-year-old Trey Savage and a 41-year-old Max Scherzer look like against this Dodgers lineup. I know, like, Max Scherzer, I think he did what I wanted him to do. He turned back the clock. He turned into a psycho.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he can repeat that. And, I mean, if you're Trey Savage, you have, like, 5 starts in the MLB, 2 in the postseason, 3 in the postseason. Something, I don't know. But 2 have gone good, 1's gone bad. And this Dodgers lineup is just daunting to go up and down and see what they do.
They got the weapons, man.
And I think this series could come down to if they get good starts, because it unfortunately feels like the Blue Jays would have to play as best as they possibly can. It's hard to say perfect. I don't want to do that. But because it feels like the Dodgers don't have to play their best to win a game on any given day.
No. And I mean, really, I think it'll stack up. I mean, both teams got good hitting. They kind of, I mean, really, when you look at their lineups, with the way that the bottom of the lineup for the Blue Jays is hitting, they kind of stack up the same with hitting.
They do. It's going to be a really good, should be a lot of offense.
You could compare, like, Shohei to Vladdy, Mookie to Springer, and all those type of guys, right? There are comparisons between Blue Jays hitters and Blue Jays hitters.
Clement to, Freddie Freeman.
Right, you're getting, but the issue then does come down to the pitching, right? You can't necessarily really compare all of, the top Dodgers arms to the Blue Jays arms, right?
Yep.
There are some faulties between how good the Dodgers arms really are compared to the Blue Jays arms. Blue Jays arms are a little bit, I believe, lower, and when you look in the depth factor of everything.
And the Dodgers have had multiple days of rest now. So
I mean,
if you're the Dodgers, you really just have to keep it going.
Right.
Keep your starters rolling. Keep hitting. And I think if you're the Dodgers and you're like, one thing you have to do right is the defense. The Jays love taking the extra base, going first to third and all that. They bunt a lot. That's about the only thing I can think of saying, like, that's something the Dodgers need to do, because they can clearly hit and pitch.
They clearly hit and pitch. They're not the your typical. They're not the small ball type.
Will Shohei Ohtani pitch a perfect game and hit 4 home runs?
Don't get me wrong. I'd love to see that happen, but not right now.
Well, let's get into some predictions, Isaac. How do you see the series going? Keeping in mind that it does start in Toronto. Toronto has home field.
Right, because they are the better team, I think. Let's see. I think it'll be, I say a 4-2 Blue Jays.
Okay, Blue Jays in 6.
Blue Jays in 6. I think they go into LA. I think they win the World Series in LA. Because Game 6 would be in LA. Game 7.
No, yeah.
Game 7 would be back in Toronto, wouldn't it? Or is it flip-flop?
It's 2-3-2, yeah.
Right?
So
2, 3.
So no,
it'd be in Toronto.
Yeah.
Oh, they win it. Then win it at the home field, I guess. But 4-0 would be ideal for Blue Jays, right? We all want a 4-0 Blue Jays.
So I'll tell you what I personally want is I want the Blue Jays to beat the Dodgers in 6 or 7 games. I want a good World Series.
Right.
You need to stop hitting.
I'm not hitting anything right now. No one can see that.
I do want this to be a 7-game series in which the Jays win, but what I think is most likely, unfortunately, gonna happen is the Dodgers win in 5 or 6, just like last year. Hopefully 6. I don't know if I see Savage or Mad Max outdueling any of the Dodgers starters, and as much as I hope I'm wrong, that's just not something I see happening.
Yeah.
I think Vlad and Springer can keep, and the bottom of their lineup will keep them afloat longer than the Brewers. But I can see the Jays doing it. We both have seen this Dodgers team for a decade, and we know what they can do.
Yeah, I fully agree with you too. I do believe though the Dodgers will. I feel like they'll end up winning 4-1 the series. I don't see it going.
Okay,
really.
so give me your official prediction on.
Do you want? I mean, what I actually truly believe, I think it'll be a 4-2 Blue Jays.
Okay. Well, I will be guessing that it's 4-2 Dodgers,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
of course you
So I think that's going to do it for us for today.
it is.
We will see who's right about these predictions.
Yeah.
Might have to put something on it.
Humiliate
you or something.
Right. Yeah. You know what? Game 1's on Friday. I get a couple days to think about this. Okay.
Okay. We'll see if he goes back on that.
Yeah. Blue Jays in 6.
Okay. Well, that's it for us from Ducks on the Pond. Thank you guys for coming in and listening. And I hope you guys have a blast watching this World Series because I know we will.
Oh yeah, and expect probably another episode. I believe. I think we're sticking to probably a Tuesday, Thursday, maybe type of days of recording.
Yep. Either this week, Thursday, or next week, Tuesday. We should be able to get an episode out to you guys. We might get one out before some games start, but
yeah, maybe it'll be the update on our little bet that we're gonna have going on here. I still,
we can see about that, but we can see about that one for sure. But that'll do it for us today.
Yeah.
I'm Matt Sapikoff.
And I'm Isaac Manaw.
You guys have a good one.